we will present to you a work entitled Nereites-Paleodictyon-Ophiomorpha from the Lower Miocene of Algeria. Introduction. This work is dedicated to Lower Miocene deep marine trace fossils from the Tiaret Basin in northwestern Algeria. 2 papers were published during this year 2021. The first one by Sherif et al. In the Journal of African Earth Sciences, and it is entitled Deep Sea Trace Fossils and Depositional Model from the Lower Miocene Tiaret Marl Formation, northwestern Algeria. A second one has been published by Naimi et al. And it is entitled The Trace Fossil Cardioichnus planus from the Lower Miocene of Algeria, the first record from Africa and probable endemic trace maker. This paper has been published in Geologia Croatica. Geological background. So the ichnological material comes from the newly defined Tiaret Marl Formation in the Tiaret Basin. The latter is located in the southern part of the western Tell Atlas of Algeria in the Warsenist range. 2 sections were studied. So the Tiaret Marl Formation overlies the Upper Jurassic Bougadou limestone formation in the Merzaghlel section and the Vizian rhyolite in the Sidi Alil Mellel section. It consists of rhythmic alternations of marlstone and butyrated yellow to brown sandstone beds that show generalization. Our list of foraminifera points to rich association, which includes early Miocene forms such as Globigerinoides, Globorotalia, and Globigerinella. Results. So, the studied assemblage is composed of 27 ichnospecies belonging to 18 ichnogenera, including 6 graphoglyptids and 12 non-graphoglyptids. The most abundant ichnotaxa are Cardioichnus, Ophiomorpha, and Palaeodictyon, while Gordia, Nereites, Planolites, Scolicia, and Zoophycos constitute the common trace fossils. The rare or scarce ichnogenera are Chondrites, Cosmorhaphe, Desmograpton, Helminthopsis, Helminthorhaphe, Megagrapton, Palaeophycus, Tisoa, Tubulichnium, and Urohelminthoida. The latter have been classified in 7 morphological groups. The most diverse morphological group belongs to the winding and meandering traces, which are Cosmorhaphe, Desmograpton, Gordia, Helminthopsis, Helminthorhaphe, Nereites, and Scolicia, which are rare to less common. The circular and elliptical structures, such as Cardioichnus, are abundant. The simple and branched structures, like Chondrites, Ophiomorpha, Palaeophycus, Planolites, and Tubulichnium, are scarce to abundant. The Sprayton structures, which are Tisoa and Zoophycos, are scarce to common. Branched, winding, and meandering structures, which are represented by 1 ichnogenera, Urohelminthoida, are rare. And finally, spiral and network structures, Megagrapton and Palaeodictyon, are rare to abundant. So the non-graphoglyptids trace fossils are more diverse and abundant than graphoglyptids. Therefore, graphoglyptids, which are considered as the most characteristic component of deep-sea ichnological assemblages, characteristic of the Nereites-Paleodictyon-Ophiomorpha, are rare in the Tiaret Marl Formation. In the investigated sections, graphoglyptids are represented by Palaeodictyon, Cosmorhaphe, Desmograpton, Helminthorhaphe, Megagrapton, and Urohelminthoida. The recorded graphoglyptids from Tiaret Marl Formation are exclusively pre-depositional agrichnial trace fossils preserved as epichnea, and the polychaete annelids constitute the main producers of these traces. The non-graphoglyptid assemblage preserved in epichnea, epichnea, and endichnia are dominated by pre- and post-depositional phodinichnia, pasichnia, domichnia, repichnia, and cubichnia. The most abundant and common non-graphoglyptid traces are Cardioichnus, Gordia, Nereites, Ophiomorpha, Planolites, Scolicia, and Zoophycos. Other ichnotaxa such as Chondrites, Helminthopsis, Palaeophycus, Tisoa, and Tubulichnium are rare to scarce. The most diversified trace fossil within this ichnoassemblage is Palaeodictyon, with 5 ichnospecies: Palaeodictyon majus, maximum, minimum, Miocenicum, and finally Strozzi. Discussion and conclusions. The studied trace fossils can be referred to the Nereites-Paleodictyon-Ophiomorpha ichnofacies, clearly suggesting a paleobathymetric trend from lower to have fun. The Nereites ichnofacies is represented by meandering and deep forms, mainly Nereites-Helminthorhaphe, Urohelminthoida, Cardioichnus, associated with many facies crossing traces such as Ophiomorpha and Planolites, found in very fine grained sandstone in the uppermost part of the lower unit. Palaeodictyon-Ichnofacies is mainly represented by the 5 Palaeodictyon ichnospecies and Desmograpton, and can be attributed to the sandy meat fan. Finally, the Ophiomorpha Rudis ichnofacies is dominated by Ophiomorpha rudis, which occurs with Scolicia, Chondrites, Cosmorhaphe, and Tisoa. In this ichnofacies, slumping and convolute bedding suggests the proximal position of the section in the deep sea slope or the upper fan. In order to deduce the depositionality of the studied area, we provided a comparison of the findings with 18 other deep sea trace fossil assemblages. You can find the latter in the work of Sherif et al. 2021, published in the Journal of African Earth Sciences. So, Palaeodictyon appears in 15 of the 18 assemblages, Nereites in 13, Zoophycos in 10, Cosmorhaphe in 13, and Scolicia in 13 of them. Therefore, the 5 compared ichnogenera led us to consider the investigated ichnoassemblage as forms typical of deep marine deposits. The most similar ichnoassemblages shown in this table are that of the Eocene Tracao Formation in Romania with 17 ichnogenera or 94%, of the Paleocene Pagliaro Formation in Italy with 16 ichnogenera 88%, and that of the Paleocene-Miocene Campo de Gibraltar complex turbidite in Spain with 14 ichnogenera or 77%. Also, the sedimentological characteristics and ichnological assemblages of the lower Miocene autochthonous Tiaret Marl Formation allow comparing it with the upper Oligocene lower Miocene alloctonous Numidian flysch of the Warsonis Mountains. Furthermore, the absence of varicolored clay and the ichnotaxa Ophiomorpha recta or tubutomaculum constitute the main lithological and ichnological differences between the two turbiditic systems. 50% of the Numidian trace fossils of Tunisia and 77% of that of Spain resemble the ichnological assemblages of the Tiaret Marl Formation. This resemblance indicates the presence of a considerable correspondence between the ichnoassemblages of different peri-Mediterranean with North Algerian Cenozoic turbiditic systems. And thank you very much for your kindly attention.